Alright, I'm going to show you how easy it is to take a data set and copy it into Microsoft Excel for the sake of getting measurements of central tendency and measurements of variation. I've shown this in class and I've shared Excel files where I've already done this, but if you've forgotten how to do it from scratch and you want to work on some of the homework and pull it into Microsoft Excel, I'm going over the same problem that I just made a tutorial for to show you how to use StatCrunch to find the summary stats. So all this data is the measurements of an amount of caffeine per a 12-ounce drink, maybe like soda pop or something like that, maybe a sports drink. Notice when we click on the copy icon, I can open it in Excel. So it's going to take that data and download it. I can double click here now that it's been downloaded, and it should open up the data in a fresh Excel spreadsheet. So I did this before, but I backed out of the video so that you could see all these pull down menus when I did it, because the window was a little more cropped. So I am going to actually paste right here in cell B17. I'm going to paste all these summaries of the things that we're going to let Microsoft Excel find for the data set. So if I select all the data and push Control X as a shortcut, notice that if I put that into cell C3 and paste it, all the data, all the descriptions of the things that I want to compute on this data are now right next to the left side of the column of data. So if I go home, I can align these on the right alignment so that I can compute each of these measurements of both central tendency and variation right underneath the data set. So you don't actually use a mean command in Excel. It's called the average command. So whenever you pull out a command in Excel, you have to start with an equal sign if you choose to use cell referencing, or if you want to use some sort of preloaded tool or command or program, like it's like a utility in Excel. So the average command finds the average or the mean of a data set. So once you double click on that, if you haven't spelled it, you just have to highlight that array where all the data is. And just for good form, I'll close the parenthesis, and it's automatically find that mean, which is the same thing we saw was computed by StatCrunch. So now if I want to find the median, I go back to the formula bar here up on the top, and I start off with an equal sign, and I start typing the first three letters of median, and there's only one command that starts with MED, and it's median. So if you select the array, it will find the median for that data as well. If you want to find the minimum, the command is the minimum command. So you just type MIN, and you'll see it says MIN. You just double click on that, and it automatically opens the parenthesis for you to now put the array of data in which you wish to find the min. Quartile 1 is a little tricky. There's two different ways to compute the quartile, and if we start typing QU, you'll notice it's quartile exclude. That's the way the graphing calculator does it, and the way StatCrunch does it. It used to compute quartile by not excluding the median when looking at the first and second half when the data set was odd. Just if you wanted to align with StatCrunch and the graphing calculator, it asks for quartile exclude. Don't use this old version of quartile, which uses include, where there was discrepancies in the answers. So double click on quartile exclude, and you have to again grab the array, and then you put a comma for which quartile you want. So if you want the first quartile, you can just double click here or put 1 and then close the parenthesis, and we'll find the first quartile. So to find the median, you notice that we can also use the quartile command, because the median is the middle of the data where 50% of the data has occurred. 2/4 into the data should be the 50th percentile. So we'll double click quartile exclude. Once again, select the data, put a comma followed by 2 because the median is the 50th percentile value. Close the parenthesis for good form, and it finds the quartile 2, which is the median. Rounding out the quartiles, let's find quartile 3 using the quartile exclude command. Select the array, put a comma and the number 3, and a close parenthesis, and it will find quartile 3. The max is just like the min. It's equals MAX. The command is max. Double click on max, select the data, and there's no need for a quartile number after it like it was for the quartiles. A standard deviation, oops, be aware that you do want to use the standard deviation for a sample. This is a sample from a population, so you're going to want the standard deviation that has an S after it, not P. Notice if you start typing STDEV, P is standard deviation for a population. We're not treating this as a population, we're treating it as it was sample from a population. So you want to do standard deviation S and select the array, and it will automatically find the standard deviation. Let's take a look at the variance. Does it have a variance command? It has a VARP for variance of a population. You'll see the explanation to the right. We want the variance as if this was a sample. Once again, you select the data and close parenthesis for good form, and it will find the variance. You'll find that all these numbers are the same numbers that were found in StatCrunch. The graphing calculator will give you all these summary statistics right off the bat, and so will StatCrunch. But some of you later on will not have access to StatCrunch, and if you're using a graphing calculator from this STEM Center that you have to turn in at the end of the semester, Excel is something that you'll see in the future would be a tool that you probably would have in the workplace. So I wanted to show you how to use all three of those forms of technology. I hope you found this video to be helpful.